Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Pleasant Valley in Camarillo, California. I'm Reverend Pam Geagan, and it is an honor to be with you today. And it is Mother's Day. And so I just want to start with something light that our wonderful Buzz Noe just shared with me. And it's about how I really, as a mom, I want my children to have everything I could never afford. And then I want to move in with them later. So enjoy. Laugh if you wish. So I also today, I do on Mother's Day want to express compassion for all of those who are separated from their children and their children from their mothers, and also just to know that there is something greater happening here, and so let us just know that next we'll never forget this Mother's Day as we air distance and do Zoom Mother's Day and other things, but just know that this too shall pass. And then I have a quote. It's a Jewish proverb, and it says, "For God couldn't be everywhere, so he created mothers." It's a Jewish proverb, and it's so true. So now I'd like to just welcome you and tell you who we are. We are, first of all, our wonderful Reverend Buzz Noe is with us. Hi, Buzz. And our wonderful Pamela Bailey is our practitioner. And I'm doing dialogue with our assistant minister, Reverend Betty Ann Brennan. And also, I have a new cousin, which I'm going to be talking about. But my new cousin is named Eileen Markland. And she found me. She's my first cousin. She helped me find she didn't help me find, she found my biological mother. And it's really quite a story. So she'll be with us. She's a wonderful concert violinist, viola player, and she sent videos in. So she's our musical inspiration. So you'll get to see, she's a beautiful woman, beautiful girl. So we are our larger vision is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And how we do this is by teaching and demonstrating spiritual principles for living an abundant and fulfilling life in a welcoming and compassionate community. And our wonderful Reverend Betty Ann always creates an affirmation. And when you're at the center, you get to take it home. But Reverend Betty Ann, will you read this to us today that supports our talk?
Today, I honor Mother. I know that this feminine principle in me inspires compassion, love, and tenderness. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And we also started in the center with our candles of faith. And we're just showing you one candle right now and an overview. We believe that there is one source and all paths lead to that source. And the one fine thread throughout all the religions, because we honor all religions, all faiths, is love. All the sages throughout the ages, they knew this. And so the one fine thread you'll find in every single religion and faith is that heart of love. So wherever you are on your spiritual path, we honor you, and even those seeking today to find something greater than they are and comfortable with that, we honor that too. So also, I just want us to go within just for a moment. And I want to, oh, just take those deep breaths in, those 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes if comfortable. And breathe in on the in breath, God is. And on the out breath, I am. Just connect. And then 2 more silently. And so, what I know today on Mother's Day, we are all what the mother stands for, and it is that creative principle. It is that divine creative principle that can be found throughout all life. And it is what inspires us, that keeps us going, that keeps us wanting to know more and be more awakened, and also opens the heart for greater experiences of love and compassion, and knowing that there is something greater guiding and providing for us, just as a mother would if she were the ideal mother. So, in that knowing, knowing that whoever your mother was, wherever she is, she was your real mother. And this is what I know for sure, is we all had a mother, and we honor her today. And I just let go of this. And I hope that all listening out there, all people, all faiths, all men, women, children, honor that side of them that is that creative seed that just says yes and continues to create its creation by means of you and me and all. And together we say with great gratitude, and so
And so it is.
and so it is. I want to introduce this song, and it's Superhero, written by Daniel Namod and Nemo Patel. And it's to honor all of our people, our frontline warriors right now on the front line, who are literally keeping us all alive. So please enjoy.
I always wanted a red cape on my back. I always wanted to be the best in my pack. I always wanted to be known to be good, to be the hero of my own hood. If I could just fly, I could save everyone. Stop all the wars so nobody's gotta run. All the killing, all the crimes, pain and suffering. It's getting tougher to be buffered from it all. Are we gonna make it through? Is he gonna fly back in? Cause if he don't come right now, I don't think good will win. Time is running now. Do we wanna wait for him? Or is it our time now to bring the good back in? We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you right here, right now. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. The world is full of so much pain, and though I can't fly, I can do my little part here before I die, yeah. I may not win the Nobel Prize, but at least I can try to be a little more kind, spend a little more time in my changing life, yeah. Like giving a hug when somebody is down, feeding a soul when there's nobody around. Small things that can change the sound, and the vibe of the spirit that can change a town. Started small, now it's touched the crowd. The crowd is growing, now the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yep. We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you right here, right now. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's the smallest things that make a difference, and all the power's locked within us. All we gotta do is find the key and turn the latch and set it free, yeah. We don't need to be fast and strong, cause a kind word can go a long way. Help someone whose faith is gone to get back up and carry on. Maybe it's too hard to understand, think it's too much for us to handle, but I promise you that you can, cause you don't need to be a Superman. We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you right here, right now. Superhero. Feel the soul when there's nobody around it. superhero. Everybody's knowing now the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yep.
Welcome back after that wonderful song. They truly are our heroes. It is my honor now to introduce the one and only Buzz Noe. Buzz, what's the buzz? You have to unmute, Buzz.
There you go. Hi, everyone. My name is Buzz Noe, and we do have some announcements for this week. And the COVID precautions still won't let us gather in person, but I'm sure that some of us would rather meet as we do on Facebook and Zoom, which allows us to connect from our very own room. And so it will be for the remainder of May. We'll be gathering online almost every day. 9 a.m. Monday morning is Reverend Pam's meditation. Tune in to discover your spiritual revelation. And starting up Monday on the 18th of May, 2 workshops will take place in the online way. Monday morning, 10 to 12, discussion will begin to show you how faith will allow you to win. Monday evening, writers group will gather together so you can join regardless of the weather. If you are locked up in your hovel, use this time to start that novel. A reminder to donate to the center when you're able. You can do that online with your internet cable. We thank you for all that you can give. It allows our center to continue to live. And thanks and love to our moms out there. This day allows all our mother love to share. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. And that's it for the announcements for this week. We'll be speaking to you again next week. It is my pleasure at this point to introduce our practitioner of the day, Pamella Bailey.
Good morning, everyone. It's Mother's Day. This is my first time being on the live feed of our service, so hopefully all will go well. So today is Mother's Day, and the theme is Mother's Love. And it's an unusual thing in a way for me, because I am a mother. However, my only son was murdered the day after his 21st birthday in 2008. I loved him deeply, and I still do. And I'm very grateful for the time we had together. He was full of life and had his own really strong ideas about how things should go. And sometimes we argued. Imagine that. It's still hard sometimes, especially like at reunions when my old friends bring out pictures of their grandchildren, which I'll never have. I will never have that. And there are other things, and I think I'd make a great grandma. But in the face of all of that, this teaching, knowing God is always present and having wonderful, loving friends and family made all the difference. So what I've learned from being a mother, you get to learn lots of things. Pam was talking about how she felt being a mother, and it's fun because I remember sometimes it was really hard. You know, a 2-year-old can get into mischief and danger very quickly, so you have to be fully present. I learned patience. I learned perseverance. They will keep asking until 20 times. And then maybe if you relent at that point and say, yes, you're toast. Perspective. And Sometimes it's really hard being a parent, and you have to go deep within to find that strength. That's when we most need to love. Oh, and there's one other fun thing. Sometimes they do something that is so funny that you have to get really good at running in the other room so you don't laugh in their faces. So I just think that one's a lesson that you learn, and sometimes it's useful in life. And the other thing that I've received from being a mom is I have a whole lot of young people in my life who are now in their 30s who I'd never have known otherwise. And what I would say is the deep learnings are compassion for the pain that we as humans experience. We don't know. We can't know what other people are going through. Forgiveness. Oh my gosh. There was so much forgiveness to do of myself. What could I have done? Of him, of his friends, and even those who murdered him. And what I also learned is that I and other humans can survive the one thing they think they couldn't. And love endures no matter what. And so then I have what I'd like to share with those who've had great losses. And the first thing is be willing to feel the pain. That's part of the process. Loss hurts because we loved. Be with people who love you and with whom you can really open up and be vulnerable. This too is part of your soul's journey. And at some level, you agreed to it. You must be really strong and willing to go deep. And you never know what others are going through unless you're open to their wholeness. So those are the things that I'd learned. Now, as practitioner, I would like to do a couple of quotes and a treatment. So the first one is from Oprah. Don't we love Oprah? And hers was, turn your wounds into wisdom. And then from Rumi, actually, Buzz, I stole this from you. Goodbyes are for those who love with their eyes, because for those who love with their heart and soul, there is no such thing as separation. And then lastly, from Ernest Holmes, our founder, people who love are loved. It does not pay to hate. Hate is a human idea. Love is a divine verity. So in that knowing that love and love, only love, is that divine verity, let us just take some time and go within to that powerful, quiet, peaceful place and know that God is everywhere. God is fully present in its power, in its love, in its presence, in its creation, everywhere. And so there's no place I can be where God is not. And I can always turn within to that place where God resides, always. And so as I know that God is fully present always, I know that I and each and every person here am one with God. And that in that oneness with God, I am that love, I am that creation, and I am that peace in the face of whatever is going on, in the face of the COVID virus, in the face of fears of infection, in the face of people going through the process of being ill and sometimes very ill, and just knowing that this too is life and that love and God are fully present through all of it. And so this wonderful day, this day that we have set aside to honor mothers and that mother spirit and that birthing of all that comes into life, this is a day to celebrate. It is a day to step up appreciation, because what we appreciate appreciates. So that those places where we have love, where we have joy, where we have friendship, where we have laughter, let's celebrate those and have more of them. Those places where we're deeply touched, let's be open and allow that love to come in and allow that love to flow out. And let's be grateful. I'm so grateful for all the people on this call and whoever it is that's listening. And be grateful again for all that life has presented. And it is a truth that what we're grateful for and what we appreciate, that's what grows. That's what we have our attention on. So I am grateful for all the good in my life. I am grateful for life itself. And I am grateful that I live here in California at this time. And so I release this treatment knowing that this is a time to celebrate love. And so it is.
So it is.
Oh, that's, Pamela, thank you so much for that sharing. That's very important, and I know that. And I would just like to say I loved Eddie. I knew him since he was about a year old. He was gorgeous, a gorgeous boy, and we both. I saw him last on Mother's Day in 2008, and I'll never forget. He was in the circle at the end, and we joked about. He joked. He turned to us and he said, "I'm in the middle of a Pam sandwich."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, he's always in my heart, and thank you for sharing your heart so greatly. Thank you so much. It's really a great, great treatment and information too on how to get by lots of things. So love you. And now I'm now I'm going to introduce Eileen Markham, my first cousin and my children's cousin too, who lives in Massachusetts. And eventually, I'm going to have her on and do a dialogue. She is a minister of music in Windsor, Massachusetts. So please enjoy her. So, our talk today, obviously, is a mother's love, and it's with our wonderful Reverend Betty Ann, our assistant minister, who I feel is a perfect balance for me. And she is not only she is so wise, but also we have a congregant who she is godmother to now. To I love it. I love that she's the godmother for someone. So I believe that Ernest Holmes said that the feminine principle, as the universal womb of nature, is the omnipresent principle operating through all living things. It knows how to unconditionally nurture and grow to fruition wherever it falls into its embrace. Another term for the divine feminine could be unconditional love. And it is Mother's Day, and it is a time to celebrate our earthly mothers and thank them and honor them for bringing us into this physical world, unconditionally loving. And I just want to share I'm going to do a brief something here. I've now known that my biological mother, first of all, I could be a doppelganger. I look just like her. She has since left the planet. She left the planet very young, and my cousin Eileen still doesn't know why she died so young, but she was not in a position to keep me. Nobody really knew about me until recently, and the greatest gift she gave me, according to Eileen, there was a lot of poverty on her side. And the greatest gift she gave me was to have me adopted out. And I was really, really lucky. No matter what complaints I ever had, I grew up in a wonderful family and was supported 100% in so many ways. And actually, both of my parents were unique and different. But my father, I got my supportive sense and my unrealistic reality from him, knowing, he could never he didn't want to hear anything bad. He didn't want to say anything bad. He never addressed any illness or anything. And so it was actually a major, major gift in being positive. It's like I came into a family that ignored all things that were less than perfect.
Well, it's wonderful to have such an influential mother, and I feel so blessed because I was born to my mother, and she started me on this trail by telling me that anybody can do anything, and I believed her. We were very, very close. As a teenager, I spent a lot of time walking with my mother and talking with my mother, and she was not an educated woman, but a very, very spiritual woman. That life just seemed to unfold. And one of the things that she did, and I don't really know how she did it, she made me believe that we were wealthy. And I grew up feeling wealthy. And when I got older and really assessed my upbringing, we were very, very poor, very, very poor. But I was never deprived of everything. I went into everything and had so much joy. So she made me what I am today, and she set my foot and my mind on a path that led me to religious science and gave me the best life anybody could ever have. So I really want to thank my mother and let her know that she did a grand job.
And I also, Reverend Betty Ann, my mother, and she had a lot of secrets, which we learned later because she didn't want us to know anything bad about her. Both of my parents were like pure as the driven snow, we learned a lot of stuff later on. But mother, I look at this, and not only was I adopted, my sister, who was older, she adopted my sister, myself, and more or less also who I call my niece, but she's like my daughter, my niece, she's so many things to me, and that's Winnie, who many of you know. And so my mother and father raised her until she was 7 years old, and then she went to live with my sister, who became her mom. It's as simple as that. So I want to thank my sister too, because whatever was done in our household, I would say our family, an extended family, is so generous and so loving. And I just am so, so blessed. And those gifts have been passed on, I believe, not in my bad moments, but in my best moments. And as you walk around on Mother's Day, you look and you consider the kind of mother that carried you in your womb. And can you imagine all the people like you just said? And I know a lot of us had great mothers here. Everybody on the screen I know had a great mother here. Anyway, and so that when you see those people today and you look at them from in the face, you recognize how giving, how loving, how unconditional, and how wise they were, and they did things that I just can't even imagine sometimes to protect us and ensure our greater good was being expressed.
Well, I think it's wonderful to equate with our own mother and that love, and then expand that out into the world. It really, this pandemic or whatever it is has given us time, and if everybody takes some of that time just for a self-analysis, looking at your parents, looking at your family, looking at yourself, to understand really who you are. And I like the idea that they say, I am with God. I like to say, I am of God. And to move into that feeling,
I
because that's
agree.
where you get the best comfort in the world.
Yes. I actually, there is only that one presence, that one being, and we are that perfect reflection. And again, I say, each one of us, everything on life is totally unique. It has its own thumbprint, and we are like that thumbprint of God. And we are expressing our uniqueness, and we're here to give that creative principle, because that's what the mother is all about, the creative principle. And I think Matthew Fox said, what does God do all day long? And then I think Eckhart Tolle answered. He answered the question. She gives birth all day long. That's what she does. And what that means to me is that creative principle that is absolutely within us. That is what we are here. We are here to create and work together, and realize that what inspires us the most is that creative feminine principle, because when we are creating, it is the most exciting thing we'll do. And so I think old is when you stop creating and don't care anymore, literally, truly. So so I always see God, the mother, lying on the birthing bed, giving birth all throughout eternity.
That's very true. That's a good symbology. Actually, the methodology or the explanation in science of mind is the masculine principle, then the feminine principle, and then the creation. And without that middle ground that does the work, that brings it into existence, we would have nothing. You can have all the ideas in the world. If there's nothing backing it up, or nothing taking you into the creative process. I just witnessed that when I had contracted for new landscaping, and it happened so it worked out. The first week we were locked up, the landscapers came, and it was marvelous to see how they picked up the blueprint and looked around the yard and made that picture into a reality. And so that's the way with everything. And right now we have this unusual opportunity to do with our minds whatever we will. And when they talk about back to normal, no, no, no. It was that normal back there that moved us into this place we are now. We need to have a new thought, a new method of generating our life and what we're doing, to just get in touch with the absolute truth. And so much of it, we've got things going on that never could have happened without this. And we should assess things from the viewpoint, this is a gift. I know that's a hard thing to swallow. But if we look at it that way, then that's what it really becomes. And we can create a new reality, a new way of living, a new way that is better and greater through that feminine principle.
I agree 100%. And it's interesting, no matter whatever you are, male, female, single, married, old or young, there is something to create. And I think the most common thing here is is that once you understand that that creative aspect within us, that's what life is all about. And you recognize that the creator that continuously creates its creation by means of you and me is the spiritual thing itself. I call that the divine wisdom, and that we are here to bring something to fruition. We are creating, and birth itself is an amazing thing. But we, no matter what it is, when we give birth to it, an idea, a plant, a baby, whatever it is the joy of nurturing it. So it's the creativity and the nurturing, I say, that go together in this divine principle that affects everybody, every race, everything that we are here for.
Yes, we can have such great experiences from such small things. When they planted the rose bushes in the yard, there was one beautiful bud which I cut off and set in a little jar right on the corner of my computer stand, which is between me and the TV. So as I watched the TV, I could also watch that rose out of the corner of my eye and
Hmm.
actually see those tiny, tiny movements to open and to create different views of this rose. And I say, they say stop and smell the roses. I say stop and see the roses. It was such a small thing, but it was such an experience because I am one with that rose, and in that moment, that enfoldment, that truth brought volumes to me. And so it's those small things. Look at something that you haven't had time to look at before. And as mother or as daughter or as son, look at the people in your life. We can't walk up there and touch them, but even from 6 feet away, you can see them. And that's it, to truly see everyone with that divine love, which is the mother principle, which we all can use.
Yes, and what you were saying is about being home earlier. I believe that it is such a gift for us to be wherever we are in the quiet, because I think that people who are connected to Source are 10 times more powerful than those who are distracted by everything outside of them. Because I believe that when the divine is always working on our behalf, sometimes we're not even in touch with that. And those distractions and the inconveniences, instead of seeing them as distractions and inconveniences, see them as wake up calls to go within, to awaken you to the divine mother creator, the divine creation of who you are, and bring that creation that is waiting for it to bloom within you to fruition. Because that divine presence is there waiting for us to open up to it. Just I always think of the water lily just opening, the lotus that just opens, and that's who we are. We are like that lotus, just waiting for the sun and the right weather and the right everything, the right environment. And when that right environment is created by us connecting to the thing itself, that is when we become powerful in our thoughts and our words and our actions.
Well, in all of this, I'm so encouraged to hear our scientific people talking about creativity of the mind, that we have to think and believe to bring it into existence, and that's the basis of the teachings in science of mind. So it gives everybody the time and the inclination, and I think that should be, or instead of putting up there all the numbers, put up the ideas, bring in new ideas, change. The We haven't seen what it will be the result and what will be the next new norm. And I'm eager and just enjoying every day. I think we have to accept things as they are in the moment, stay in the moment, and project our mind into the best tomorrow we can possibly see. And each one give birth in a mothering way to this new idea, to this new way of living, because it's coming.
Oh, it's already here. And I did a meditation on Monday, and it was just to breathe in the quiet and just say thank you. I loved what you said about ignore those numbers of negativity and heartache and heartbreak and discomfort, and go to the numbers of the new creations that are being already, new things are already coming from this. I think there'll be less traffic after this because we'll all be working on Zoom calls from home, at least some of the time. I believe that there'll be meetings worldwide where we weren't up to speed, many of us. I certainly wasn't on doing Zoom or anything else, Google Meet, whatever, which we're using right now, I think. So I think you're right on about this. And so I want to close with something before we go, and then Betty, and I'll ask you to close with something. And it really hit me. It's been a few years, but I am now the matriarch of our family. And I just want to, this is from my heart. I just want to thank my family, my children, my grandchildren, my nieces, my nephews, my in-laws for all the unconditional love they pour on me. They pour so much, it's been pressed down and is flowing over right now. I think there's a quote that Ernest Holmes says about this. And all I can tell you is I aspire to live up to that joy that you give me, that love you give to me, extremely unconditionally. And my heart, I just hope, continues to be open and receptive to all the gratitude that you have all showered on me, always, but especially during this time. I have felt like a princess, and I'm not ready to give up my throne yet. So, so keep that in mind there. And I'm moving in, as the joke said, as soon as you get all the good things. So I just love each and every one of you out there. My family, my spiritual family, is who I rely on the most. So, Reverend Betty Ann, would you like to close now with something?
Well, I just wanted to tell everybody what my mother told me. Anybody can do anything. And as many of you know, my affirmation daily over many years now has been, my life is unfolding perfectly no matter what. And this is certainly a no matter what. But I know that from this all will unfold, and there will be new experiences and a new way to love. And you just stay on your throne there, Pam. You deserve it.
I don't want to dethrone you. You're the queen. Oh, gosh. Thank you so much for today. This was just delightful, just absolutely delightful to be with all of you. But Betty Ann, this was great. It was really, really great. So I would like to now turn it over to Eileen again. Eileen, I hope you'll be able to watch this later. Great. So this is our time for giving right now. And I just want to thank you all for all your generosity. And we could use more generosity because during this time, it is about keeping the doors open and paying the rent and paying the utilities. We still have to meet all our very earthly obligations here. I would choose to be just live in the heaven world and not have these earthly obligations. But who knows? Who knows what life will be like in the future, where maybe there is. I've always wondered about this piece of paper. I mean, what does it back anyway? But right now we would love more donations to keep our doors open. We're looking at opening June 1st, which would be wonderful. We're just waiting for all the guidelines. So together, let's read our offertory. Divine love
blesses and multiplies all that I have,
all that I
all
have,
that I give,
and
all
all
that
I receive.
and so it is, and that's
the
free.
way.
Okay, so there are our sacred donations. Please look at our screen. As I say one more time, we appreciate you. We appreciate your donations. And it is not about the building or anything else. It's about spreading something greater and knowing that there's something greater during this pandemic right now. I even hate to say the word pandemic, and knowing that we're all going to come out greater and more spiritually wise than we ever were before, because God is the power and the presence. So your sacred donations are more than ever appreciated. And you can see our mailing address on the screen, and also our website and our email. And we honor you. Please send us, if you would like personal one-on-one prayer, leave a message at church, on our phone, get through us by email, or leave a request on our website. So God bless each and every one of you. It is the power and presence. Namaste out. And now we're going to play Nemo Patel again, the grateful song. We are so grateful for you. And we use them because they are not only fabulous, but empty hands music, but they have given us the gift of their music without any fees. So please, Spencer, play Nemo.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
all
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it all.
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything
All
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all.
Every
day I sit and pray, cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Wait, one more. This is for y'all.
All that I am,
all that I've been, it's a blessing.
It's so amazing.
I am grateful
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
We
Love
love
you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Balanced Boys Day.
Yeah.
And peace out. Love each and every one of you. Thank you, Spence.
Thank you. All right. Bye.